Welcome back, my beautiful humans. Over the last few weeks, we've built quite a toolkit. We have learned about communication styles. We've learned about body language. We've learned the art of the question and the query. We've learned curiosity is more than questions. We've learned how interjecting humor can make life better. Yeah. But there's one thing that if we don't have, all of this is just useless crap. That's noise in the back of our heads, in the front of our heads, all around us. Just chatter. I'm going to tell you the statement that I'm going to make will make sense when I explain what it is that we need to tie all of it together. I don't want to be a ghost anymore. I don't want to be a ghost in my life anymore. I don't want to be a ghost in the people's lives that I love anymore. The one thing that we need to tie all of this together is presence. Because it doesn't matter if you ask the perfect question, if you understand body language, how to read a room, add a joke. None of that matters if you're not present. It's the difference between a conversation that works and one that heals. I'm going to tell you, if I die tomorrow, I don't want my legacy to be that I was efficient or articulate or emotional or a crybaby. I want my legacy to be the weight of the attention that I gave the people in my life. I want people to remember how it felt to be seen and heard by me. I'm tired of just being available. I want to be present. I don't want to be a ghost anymore. Now, I always try to circle back to things, and I try to have things in some kind of chronological order. Doesn't always make it logical, doesn't always make it right. But for me, this was kind of like the next step. Us, putting it all together. We've talked about the digital void. We've talked about the assumption audit. We've talked about, dealing with misunderstandings and closed questions. Now we're dealing with the version of you that is sitting at the dinner table on autopilot, scrolling your phone, and at intermittent times going, yeah, okay, sure, really. Everything is on autopilot. We have actually developed a really bad habit. It's called distracted intimacy. And it's where we give the people in our lives or the people that we're talking to 20% of us and in our brain and our body physically being in the room. And the other 80% of us is on autopilot politeness. And politeness is actually just, again, it's the automatic responses. It's the I'm here, but I'm not here answers, and it's almost dismissive without being dismissive. Sometimes we all try to be sneaky. We all know it. Because when somebody's doing it to you, you feel it. You know they're not there. And it hurts. Sometimes it hurts more than what you want it to, what you thought it would, but it still hurts. We've spent a lot of this season on how to talk to people, how to read people. I want us to learn how to stay in the room while we're doing it. Are you willing to do that? Challenge accepted. I'm going to refer to a 3-point landing. I don't know anybody in the aviation world, when they land, not touchdown, when they land, they're on all 3 wheels. Okay? It's a safety thing. It's stability. I want to try and do that with our conversations. So the first one is the eyes. And they say the eyes are the window to the soul. And sometimes we don't want to see that, or sometimes we're scared to see that. But if you feel yourself starting to drift when you're having a conversation, look at them. Look at the person talking to you. See if you notice something different. Maybe you haven't noticed before. Maybe you notice that they're smiling differently when they talk about something. Maybe you see a freckle you never noticed before. And if they're getting older and you think it's an age spot, don't tell them. But by doing that, it's going to force your brain to stop processing data and bring you back to humanity, bring you back to your human self. Next is the heart. We talked about, if you feel that maybe there's an aggressiveness, or, to do the 45 when you're talking to somebody. And I know this is more symbolic than anything, but if you're facing them, not in an aggressive stance, we don't got to go there, but if you're facing them, it's really hard when your heart is pointed at something or someone to have, and it's there, to have your mind on a screen or a phone. It's just, it's harder when you've got your space within your space. And I know that sounds weird, but it's you and them, and there's that space. And if you keep losing your presence, that's where the oceans of silence begin. And sometimes you can take those too far. Finally, for our 3-point landing, our stability, is the breath and the weight rule. WAIT. Yeah. So before you respond, take a breath. And as you take your breath, you can think, and you're going to say, why am I talking? Yeah, I can't do that very well. Why am I talking? Are you talking to fix them, or fix a problem, or rush somebody along? Be dismissive? Or are you talking because you're actually present with them? Sometimes the most present thing you can do is to stay quiet and let them land with whatever they're telling you. Be their home and their safety, and let them land. I will say presence in some ways is a wrapper to make all of this work, and what we've built every episode so far this season. And I'm so glad that you guys are along this journey with me. all of you that subscribe, all of you that take time out to listen. I am so grateful for you. But I'd like you to know, by having the presence, it's how you know which style to use in real time, how to catch the body language to make things better, possibly before a word is even spoken. And it's how you can make sure that you ask your high yield questions that are not closed and actually bring you a conversation. Presence is the difference between reading a map and actually going out on a hike. And it is what will turn your conversations into a legacy. If today were your last day, you wouldn't spend it staring at a screen. Well, maybe you might for a little bit, but not the whole time. You would be, this part always makes me emotional. You would be memorizing someone's laugh, or the way their smile touched their eyes, or how they looked at you when it was just you and them. You would be so present that the other person felt like they were the only soul in the universe. You would stop being a ghost in your own life. I'm going to ask you to pick one conversation. Put your phone in a drawer, in a bag, in a pocket. Well, no, not in a pocket, because then if it goes up, it was doing quick draw. Yeah. Maybe they should start having a sport for that. They'd put a sport out for everything else. How about a quick draw on your phone? But put it in another room. Put it on silent. Flip it over. Make a game out of it. That could be a good one. Whoever touches their phone first at dinner pays for dinner or cleans up dishes. Anything to help you be present. But have a conversation. Notice the things that you don't take time to notice. Again, just don't be a ghost in your own life. You're here now, so prove it. In the comment below, or I pinned in the comments below some information. I will say this. I've been working really hard, and I've talked a little bit before about it, but I've been working really hard about putting together a digital product, and I did. And it's not long. It's 11 pages of intentional prompts and places where you can land safe. Each one is designed to get you to the heart of what matters without the fluff. Think of it as a guided sanctuary. It's short enough to be manageable, but deep enough to be meaningful. And there's a place in there that you can actually write a letter from your heart. So again, that's linked in the comment below. I pinned it in there, sorry. But as always, be kind, be grateful, stay humble.